It was supposed to be a quiet evening at a favorite campground, just dinner by the river, good weather, and zero drama. But when a stranger parks across from your site and starts walking towards you with that look in his eye, the menu changes real fast. So, what happened? Tonight's first video comes from Catherine Gregory, a Pacific Northwest vlogger who documents solo and group wilderness adventures, truck camping, and outdoor cooking in some of the most beautiful country in the lower 48. She's the kind of person who can make a campfire meal look like fine dining and a thunderstorm look like ambiance. But not every outdoor encounter comes from the woods. Some walk right into your camp wearing a fishing vest and a head full of bad intentions. The footage exists. So here we are. It's June 7th, 2026, Baker Hole Campground near West Yellowstone, Montana.
Back here at camp, at one of my favorite camps here in the greater Yellowstone area. I've been here many times. This is the Baker Hole Campground. We enjoyed some ice cream in town at the Haagen-Dazs ice cream shop. You don't see many of those around. And that was yummy. We took a little walk and drive around town, and now we're back here at camp. There have been thunderstorms almost daily, and I'm looking in front of me and there's definitely some thunderheads. I don't know whether they'll produce any rain or not tonight, but we are going to make a yummy dinner later, so hopefully it doesn't rain. Our view.
Pure calm before the storm. River access. Good weather holding. Fire going. Food prepped. The specific satisfaction of a great spot on a great day. The kind of camp night that makes deadlines feel fictional. But the thing about favorite spots, other people know about them too.
The time if I've ever felt creeped out in a situation and wanted to leave camp, and we had an interesting situation just happen. We were planning on making dinner at camp, as I had mentioned earlier, and as we were sitting around doing chores, packing things up and organizing things, a person that is not camped in our campground parked in a little space right across from our camp to go fish the river. However, he came right into our camp and was very aggressive, trying to be friendly, definitely trying to be friendly, but felt very off. He felt like he was maybe on something. He just wasn't acting normal. He told a lot of stories, and his stories changed all the time, and I felt very uncomfortable.
He arrives under the guise of fishing, parks across from their site, doesn't go anywhere near the river, walks straight into their active camp instead. And then he's just there. Rapid-fire stories that shift and contradict.
So he went to finally fish in the river after he talked to us for about 15-20 minutes. And the problem is that his car is parked by our camp, and he's going to come back through, and I'm sure he's going to want to sit and talk to us again, and I don't feel comfortable at all. I just did not. So we are leaving camp, and we're going to go out to eat, and it's kind of a bummer that we were kind of driven out of our own camp, but like the hairs on my neck stood up. Something was just off. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. I will make that dinner tomorrow night. Just have to be postponed for a little bit, and hopefully when we go back, he's left. That's my hope.
Catherine keeps filming, partly for the vlog, partly because something about this doesn't sit right in a way she can't quite name yet. Then Joey laughs, just a casual reaction, nothing pointed, and the mask slips. The stranger's head snaps toward him. Why are you laughing? Sharp, demanding, the kind of tone that doesn't invite explanation, it invites submission. That's when Catherine feels it. The hairs, the adrenaline, the ancient hardware switching on all at once. And here's the problem. His car is parked right by their camp. Even if they get him to leave, he's coming back from the river eventually. Second confrontation guaranteed. They look at each other and start packing. Dinner abandoned, fire left to die, just gone.
And we're just kind of waiting it out a little bit. We want to be sure, hopefully, we're not going to be sure until we get there, but we want to give it some time so maybe this person will have left the area. It was a really strange situation. I mean, we both felt it. There was a time that he said something and Joey kind of laughed and he's like, "Why are you laughing?" And it was one of those things where he was coming off as a friendly person, albeit way over the top and not in a good way, I would say. But I felt like he was also volatile. Like if you said something that just by that remark alone, like, "Why are you laughing?" that maybe he could have the ability, he might have the ability to snap and go the other way. So we were just talking about it here. We think that the best way to handle it is the way that we did.
Truck town. Debriefing with that specific shaky clarity that only kicks in after the adrenaline starts to drain. The pieces click together fast. That laugh was a test, and the right answer was fear. He was volatile, unpredictable, the kind of person who moves from casual conversation to something physical without a visible gear change. They made the right call. But now they're hungry, displaced, and rattled in a way that scenery won't fix. The stranger cleared out sometime that night. Vehicle gone, site empty. They came back in the morning to pack up properly, then headed north through Gallatin Canyon. Dinner got delayed by a day. Peace of mind took a little longer. It's the human element that gets you sometimes. Not the bears, not the storms, not the isolation. Just some guy with bad energy and nowhere better to be. But honestly, I think I'll be sticking to backcountry sites without parking lots for a while. He came out here to camp alone. The forest had other plans. The second video tonight comes from Moxley's Paranormal World, a UK-based channel where a guy called Mox spends nights in haunted woodlands and abandoned buildings, usually solo, usually armed with nothing more than a spirit box and questionable life choices. It's April 30th, 2026. Haunted Woodland, United Kingdom.
And all sorts of weird stuff, but you did say the grounds to this place have been shrouded in a lot of paranormal, from shadow figures seen, disembodied voices heard, walking when there's nobody else there, plus, and this is the one that's made me drop everything else, sightings of UFOs dating all the way back to, I think he said, around about the 1960s. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant to get out there, and I'm going to camp overnight at this location to see if I can pick up any of the activity that these were capturing a couple of nights ago, plus what other people have been capturing. So there's been cryptids, UFOs, paranormal activity from shadow figures, disembodied voices like I've already said. So I'm just going to get my bag together. So the only thing I need to get into my bag, get the tent in, got my food and everything else, so it's coming at a really good time. So yeah, with that, I'll catch you.
The woods don't wait for sunset to get weird. Mox is still hauling gear when he hears it. Heavy footsteps on 2 feet, moving through the undergrowth with purpose. Then the running starts, straight toward him. Heavy, deliberate. The kind of sound that makes you realize isolated is just another word for trapped.
Got to the top end. It sounded like somebody was speaking behind me. So I've just stopped for a minute, just to listen. Because there could be other people still out here, because it is only early. Right, after listening for a good 10 minutes, couldn't hear nobody. So that is what we literally just climbed over. The other side was really rough. Well, I'm just following the trail straight through.
Sunset bleeding out. tent poles only half assembled when the tree line moves. Wrong movement. Not wind, not wildlife. Something deliberate. A noise he can't quite file away. The feeling lands then, heavy and immediate. Being watched isn't a theory out here. It's a physical weight.
And to me right, I could hear, I don't know, it was like a groaning noise. Well, it sounded like it was coming from a person. Like going, Okay. It's freaking odd, wasn't it? Should we put the spirit talker on whilst we're eating? Should we just give it a go? Can't hurt, can it? Getting a noise over there. Okay, is there somebody out here? If there is, would you like to step forward, come and speak to me here tonight? I'm here to communicate with you.
Ralph.
Ralph. Well, hello, Ralph. Ralph, is it you that people have seen out here?
Dusk has teeth. He's hunched over hot noodles, finally warming up when the groan comes. Human-like. Close. Rising from the darkness just feet from the tent flap. Not an animal, not the wind. Something that breathes and sighs and is standing right outside his camp in the dark.
He's walking through the woods over there. You might be able to see it every now and then. I could hear something, like talking. I'm just hoping the camera picks it up. Looks like they come this way and they walked all the way around. They were on the other side of that water, and then they started walking this way, then they started walking down this way. So I just sat at the camp thinking fair enough. Then they got so close and then they started walking off. Then they keep walking back towards and they keep walking back off again.
Night wins. Mox kills his lights. Better to hide than advertise. The darkness rewards him immediately with footsteps crunching through dead leaves, close enough to track direction. Then voices, faint, disembodied, talking in the dark like they're having a conversation about him. Most people would be heading for the car by now. Mox grabs the spirit box instead. Ralph, it says. Then, hello there. He pulls on his boots, dims his flashlight, and walks deeper into the black trees to find out who's saying hello. But honestly, that was insane. It was supposed to be a laugh, a few drinks, a hammock, some cheeky stealth camping behind a retail park. But Manchester's woods don't care about your plans. The third video tonight comes from Urban Rats, a British channel where a bloke camps in ridiculous spots around Manchester, from motorway bridges to hidden nooks behind roundabouts. It's unpretentious, it's funny, and it's usually just him cracking open a beer and reminding people to leave no trace. Usually. It's August 24th, 2025, woodland behind a commercial campsite, Manchester, England.
Well, today we'll get straight in with it, and I'm already set up because we're in the DD hammock, and I'll give you a quick look at what's going on. So this is a bar. We're going to be drinking some Madries. We brought a pint glass because in this bottle here, it's not water, it's vodka, and I've brought us some Pepsi to go with it. We're going to be hunting for some food in the woods tonight. So come on, without no further ado, let's go and catch ourselves some food.
The video opens weird. Before we even see him, before a single frame of camping footage, there's jarring low-quality audio, disembodied voices discussing something cryptic, a white baseball cap, something with light brown hair. No context, no explanation. Just an unsettling preamble that sits over everything that follows, like a question nobody answers.
We have camped around here before, and just over the back here is giant seats camping thing. So yeah, some of them are over there, and they have all sorts going on. One time I was here and woke up in the morning, I was just having a brew, and they all come through with laser guns shooting each other, and this girl got shot in my camp while we were having my cup of coffee in the morning. Couldn't believe it, right in my camp, Dad. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, and they were setting off like hand grenades down there with blue smoke, red smoke. Yeah, crazy. It's in one of the Halloween camps from a few years ago. So yeah, that was a bonkers one. Anyway, I'll take you to the top of the hill and we'll see what we can see over there and see if there's any tents or anything going on.
He scopes the perimeter before settling in, noting the history of this particular spot. Last time he camped here, he woke up to people running laser tag games through his site and setting off colored smoke grenades in the dark. So the baseline for normal here is already doing a lot of work.
I was just setting up my cooker near the fire and stuff like that, and then I've noticed I've just found some bones. I'll give you a quick look at these, tell me what you think. Look! I don't know whose they belong to. Oh, just in here. My gosh. It's time now to cook something up, what we hunted for before. So yeah, I was hunting down near the farmer's field down there, and I took a shot at this squirrel.
Cooking gear out, fire pit sorted, and then, sitting right there in the dirt, a pile of old, stark white skeletal remains. He pauses. Can't identify the animal, carries on setting up anyway, because apparently that's the kind of person he is. The bones stay where they are, grim and unexplained, keeping him company for the rest of the night.
And then at night last night when I was asleep, like foxes going crazy. Yeah, making well loads of noise. So yeah, I woke up, I tried recording it, but it's the same again, isn't it? You press record and that's it, they go quiet, don't they? So, yeah, get this sleeping bag packed up, take the hammock down, have the brew, and then I'll clean up the area and leave no trace like we do.
The vlog fades out, credits start rolling, and then the audio clip plays again. Same disjointed voices, same white baseball cap, same light brown hair. Repeating without context, without explanation, before cutting to total silence. It bookends the whole night in a way that feels deliberate, like a message that didn't quite finish. He packs up at dawn, leaves the site spotless, the way he always does. The bones stay in the dirt. The foxes stay wherever foxes go after midnight. And that audio, the one with no source and no explanation, follows him out of those woods whether he wants it to or not. But honestly, that was creepy. What makes someone choose a dark parking lot over a $20 spot with security cameras? For Daniela, it's the thrill of the stealth camp, the challenge of the unseen. But sometimes, the unseen is watching back. The fourth video tonight comes from Lost in Wonder, a solo female travel channel where Daniela documents van life and off-the-beaten-path road trips across Canada and North America. It's realistic, it's cozy, and it's occasionally the kind of unpredictable that makes you double-check your door locks. It's November 16th, 2025, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada.
And I know it's kind of weird, somebody talking by themselves, like me, or like talking to her camera. So I wonder if that's what he's looking at, but he's kind of creeping me out a little bit. Like, what is he doing? He's looking at his phone. I think it's fine. I think it's just looking at his phone. He was here before I got here, so who am I to come and start saying that he's doing creepy stuff, right? Okay.
A stranger staring intently in her direction. Just like that, before she's even found a place to sleep, the vulnerability of solo travel makes itself known. Niagara Falls, after dark, cold, windy, wet. She rejects the $20 lot, too expensive, too exposed for what she's trying to do, and starts hunting for her own stealth spot instead. First though, Emily needs sorting. The van is completely trashed from a last-minute departure, interior lights blazing, while she reorganizes everything by hand in a temporary parking spot. Not exactly invisible, not exactly the ideal moment to attract attention.
Full show in here. What? Okay, this is not working. Okay. All right. I cannot see anything.
Bedding set up. Getting settled. She glances out the window and stops moving entirely. A man. Standing in the dark car park, facing the van, completely still, staring directly at her. She tries the rational explanations. Smoking, waiting for someone, just passing through. But the eye contact holds for too long, and none of the explanations quite stick. The discomfort becomes something heavier.
But it is a very, very chilly night. And over there is the United States of America. This is the border, guys. It is so cold. So I was going over there to the Sheraton because I have a wine tasting coupon. However, that little spot that I just parked costs.
She moves immediately, finds a cheaper spot overlooking the illuminated falls, and gets the blinds up across every side window. Custom covers properly fitted, no gaps. Leaves the back windows exposed deliberately. After being watched like that, complete blindness feels worse than the cold. At least with the back open, she can see what's coming. But honestly, that was way too close. A disused quarry in the Lake District doesn't sound like the kind of place that fights back. Just stone, just damp, just shelter from the rain. But when the walls start whispering and your gear starts failing, you realize some caves don't want visitors. So, what happened? The fifth video tonight comes from Katie Roams, a UK-based channel where a woman called Katie documents solo wild camping and hiking across unique natural environments. It's raw, it's honest, and it shows the genuine psychological toll of wilderness isolation without the theatrical scream edits. It's June 17th, 2026, Cathedral Quarry, Lake District, England.
My own little house. think this is going to be home, you know. It seems like people have been here before. Yeah, there's a game of noughts and crosses. Is that a little sofa set up? Wait, that's a fire pit. A sofa? Another sofa? Someone's made a whole house here. This is so cool.
Then the spiders. 2 massive cave spiders nesting directly beside her chosen sleeping spot. Anxiety spikes, gear gets moved to a different section, and the cave quietly stops feeling like shelter. More like something that lets you in and waits.
I'm really battling with my nerves right now. I don't know, there's something weird about this cave. It doesn't feel right. It's so eerie. This is the problem, is when you're alone, there's no one to I don't know. Well, there's no one for anything, to be honest. I've got absolutely no signal, and I don't think that's helping either. I have got my SOS device.
She tries to settle by focusing on the wall markings left by previous visitors. It doesn't work. The drawings are creepy, sketches that don't belong anywhere comfortable. Her gut instinct is fully activated now, overriding every logical argument she's making to herself about staying.
I'm kind of, I feel kind of sicky, but not sick. And then there's writing on the wall that literally says, turn back. The whole thing's just giving me the heebie-jeebies. The heebie-jeebies. The rain's actually getting heavier.
Adventure time with Katie. We're on tomato and mascarpone pasta in a cave in very, very heavy rain. I think it's got some atmosphere about it. Creepy atmosphere.
Then the gear goes. Fully charged headlamp, dead. Gas stove with gas actively flowing, won't hold a flame. 2 failures back to back with no technical explanation for either. She doesn't wait for a 3rd sign. She abandons everything that isn't essential, gets out of the cave, and walks back into the rain. The forest doesn't make it easier. Wet lighter, cold dinner, midges swarming in the dark. But the feeling won't pass. At 9 p.m., she makes the call to bail entirely, hiking back to the car, rather than forcing herself through a night that every instinct is telling her to abandon. Sometimes the most important piece of gear you carry is the one that tells you when to stop. But honestly, that was terrifying. He's halfway up the mountain when the trail disappears under fresh logging scars, mud sucking at his boots, trenches everywhere, and the sun bleeding out faster than planned. Then he sees it. A stag, the size of a horse watching from the tree line. That's before the gunshots start. So, what happened? The 6th and final video tonight comes from Rambling On, an Irish solo camping channel where Jason documents the unglamorous reality of wild camping across Ireland's weather-beaten terrain. It's October 27th, 2025, mountainous forestry woodland, Ireland.
Because there is a little camp spot that I want to check out. I don't know if the tent I have would fit. You can see why I wanted to chance my arm with this little spot, can't you? That spot there looks flat, but there's a big trench, a little trench going through it. But I can see myself coming back up here for a very uncomfortable night. Just not tonight. Little water source there as well. Nothing to complain about. Now, instead of going back down and hiking up another area, I'm going to take the lazy man's way, which is definitely going to bite me in the ass because it means going through this mess up here, which is the way I went the last time. And the last time, I didn't have a massive camping bag on my back, and I don't think there was as much water in that stream, so this might be interesting. Yeah, right. Ooh, that's a lot softer than I thought it was going to be. Right. Oh, bugger.
That's not a good start. Let's just see how far I can get. Well, it's not a good start. Ooh. Okay, I think the lazy man's route is not the way to go tonight. I fancy keeping my feet dry and keeping myself upright for as long as possible. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get out of here. Ooh. Okay. There's a deer trail. You can see where they cross just here and jump over to here, but I haven't been up.
Peak rutting season. The plan unravels immediately. Main route blocked by active logging. Mud, deep trenches, ground that grabs your boots and doesn't negotiate. He pivots to what he calls a lazy man's shortcut, which in hindsight is doing a lot of heavy lifting, as a description. Heavy pack, bad footing, sun dropping faster than scheduled. Then a massive stag materializes in the logged terrain ahead, watches him for a moment, and moves on. Jason keeps moving too. The atmosphere shifts from inconvenient to something harder to name.
Oh. The problem is, it's rutting season. And I kind of had it in the back of my mind that maybe the deer might be a little bit aggressive, but surely they wouldn't come near me. But if I'm laying in between all their trails, I don't fancy my chances. Especially, I'm talking about a stag here now. I know the doe, they'd keep their distance, but the stags, you know, with their big cojones. More worried about the other end now, you know, the horny bits. I'm a little bit wary of pitching up here because I can see the signs of the deer and there's trails going every direction. So it's kind of a little junction for them. I don't fancy an encounter with that stag. And I might be being a bit foolish, or maybe I'd be foolish to stay, who knows? But I think I'd rather be foolish and leave than to...
He finds what looks like a flat pitch and realizes immediately what he's standing on. A junction of heavily used deer trails, fresh droppings everywhere, ground churned by hooves in every direction. Peak rutting season. Male deer territorial, aggressive, primed to defend against anything that moves into their space uninvited, including a guy fumbling with tent poles at dusk. He does the math quickly, doesn't like the answer, and retreats toward the forestry road. Better a compromised camp than the alternative. Night, dinner on. Settled on a small mound closer to the road, head torch doing its job, when the first gunshot cracks through the trees. Sharp, close, unmistakable. Not a licensed hunter working daylight hours. Second shot. Louder, closer. Right along the main forest track where his camp sits exposed. The calculus of this moment is ugly. Head torch on makes him visible. Head torch off leaves him blind. He kills the light, gets into the tent, goes completely still, lying there in nylon and silence while something moves through the woods nearby with a weapon, not knowing his camp exists and not particularly needing to. Morning breaks cold and clear. Jason wakes up unshot and thoroughly done with this particular mountain. Packs up, leaves no trace, heads home with a story that nobody specifically planned for. Started as a lazy shortcut, ended as a night spent horizontal in the dark while illegal gunfire moved through the trees. The woods don't care about your plans, and neither do the people hunting in them after dark. But honestly, that was not okay. That's it for tonight. If you watched all the way to the end, you're either very brave or you made some questionable life choices. Either way, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and click one of the videos on screen. I'll be back soon with more reasons to stay indoors. See you then. And if you made it this far, there was a hidden word somewhere in tonight's video. Drop it in the comments if you caught it.